This is how to ensure a narcissist feels the weight of every toxic action they have directed toward you throughout their life. If you have ever been forced to navigate a relationship with a narcissist, you understand how draining they are to manage. These individuals are calculating enough to manipulate and pressure others into fulfilling their every whim. However, you should remain encouraged because there are specific methods to make them regret the pain they have caused you. It may be simpler than you imagine, but it requires careful preparation and a solid approach. Without any further delay, here are 10 powerful strategies to make a narcissist truly suffer for their behavior. Initially, seize every opportunity to flourish and live your most vibrant life in their absence. To make a narcissist genuinely lament their actions, begin by finding true joy away from them. Surround yourself with individuals who genuinely value you, recognize your worth, and encourage your personal evolution. Keep in mind that you are the protagonist of your own journey, not a minor character in their chaotic narrative. Release any lingering guilt and engage in activities that bring you genuine delight. Travel with your companions, immerse yourself in the natural world, and enjoy films that stimulate your intellect. Embrace the reality that you are worthy of far more than they could ever provide, specifically happiness, contentment, and independence. Take a deep breath and apply your experiences to build a brilliant future far away from their shadow. Next, strive to evolve into someone far superior to them. Narcissists are skilled at faking warmth and empathy when their true motives are rooted in manipulation, ego, and malice. They will stop at nothing to achieve their goals, even if it involves destroying others. If you wish for them to regret their choices, aim to surpass them in every possible way. Tap into your internal resilience and rise above their toxic patterns by practicing genuine kindness, empathy, and sincere concern for others. By consistently modeling these virtues, you strip away the dominance they crave and highlight how trivial they actually are. Remember that perfection is not the goal. Instead, focus on how this ordeal has shaped you into a more resilient and insightful person. The third vital strategy is to never hesitate to advocate for yourself. Asserting your boundaries is the most effective way to make a deceptive person regret their behavior. Narcissists thrive on being in total command of those around them. Consequently, when you challenge their authority, it forces them to confront their own conduct. Remain cautious of the tactics they use to gaslight you into believing you are the antagonist while they play the innocent victim. Stay sharp and refuse to be entangled in their web of deception. If someone consistently mocks you or belittles you, it is time to pivot. Do not permit them to mistreat you simply because they struggle to find others willing to tolerate their toxicity. If a person fails to treat you with dignity and compassion, they do not deserve your time or your faithfulness. The fourth essential rule is to project absolute confidence and self-reliance. To make a narcissist truly mourn their lost influence, you must maintain unwavering belief in your own identity and talents. When you are grounded in self-assurance, it becomes difficult for others to diminish you or make you doubt your value. This is not about being arrogant. Rather, it means that no matter how hard someone attempts to break you, their malice will shatter before it ever touches your soul. Their failed attempts will eventually cause them to feel the sting of the damage they tried to inflict. Furthermore, it is crucial to become independent and stop seeking validation or joy from external sources. Narcissists attempt to convince you that they are necessary through dishonest schemes. In reality, you are a complete individual capable of finding peace and success entirely on your own. The fifth key point focuses on the importance of self-preservation. You have endured a path filled with falsehoods, betrayal, and manipulation. It is natural to feel wounded and resentful, but you must not allow these emotions to dominate your existence. Prioritizing yourself becomes a fundamental part of making a narcissist regret their past actions. Although their cruelty makes it difficult to maintain a positive outlook, it remains achievable. Looking after your own needs is one of the most critical tasks you face. This involves nourishing your body with healthy food, exercising consistently, and ensuring you receive sufficient sleep. Indulge in restorative activities such as massages or quiet walks in the woods. Surround yourself with a support system of people who will stand by you and prioritize your health. By pursuing things that spark joy and benefit your mental and physical state, you make it nearly impossible for a narcissist to extract what they want from you. By placing your requirements first, you escape their influence and reclaim your personal power. Moving forward to the sixth method, you must resolve to never offer another apology to a narcissist. These individuals are masters at making you feel inferior and convincing you that you are at fault. If you have ever attempted to apologize to one, you know how effectively they twist your words and warp reality to make you question your own integrity. However, it is vital to remember that the narcissist is not the victim in this scenario. They are the ones who caused the harm, and they must be held accountable for their choices. Refuse to apologize or explain yourself when they try to make you feel inadequate. When you apologize for mistakes you did not commit or fail to stand up against mistreatment, you surrender your autonomy and allow them to maintain their grip on your life. Number 7 involves embracing silence and acting as though they do not exist. The most potent way to make a narcissist regret what they did to you is to utilize total silence and ignore them completely. If you find their presence unbearable, remove yourself from it. Dedicate your time to fulfilling your own goals and fostering healthy connections with friends and family who offer unconditional support. It is important to invest in people who elevate and motivate you while distancing yourself from those who drain your energy. Once the narcissist realizes their actions no longer provoke a reaction from you, they will begin to dwell on their errors and the emptiness of their life without you. This internal chaos will disrupt their mind, which may lead them to seek your pardon much sooner than anticipated. Ensure you maintain your internal grit and focus if you want a narcissist to feel the weight of their actions. Even when their behavior sparks anger or grief, it is imperative to protect your psychological strength. Showing a narcissist your vulnerability only provides them with more ammunition to hurt you. Instead, channel your focus into endeavors that bring you fulfillment and foster your personal development. Narcissists crave power and dominance, but you must deny them that satisfaction. Redirect your attention away from their negative impact and pour your soul into creating a life that reflects your authentic self. 9th, withhold all praise or flattery, which will eventually expose their flaws and blunders. Compliments serve as fuel for the narcissist, validating their ego and reinforcing their behavior. To make them regret their actions, stop providing the ego boost they seek. Refrain from giving them the admiration they use to feel superior. Instead, allow their mistakes and shortcomings to remain visible. This uncomfortable reality will trigger their insecurities, making it difficult for them to remain comfortable in your presence. If they continue to try and deceive you, remain steadfast in your resolve. Break free from their influence by refusing to let them dictate how you perceive yourself. 10th, do not surrender to their demands and refuse to conform to their expectations. Narcissists enjoy manipulating and controlling others, and they will apply relentless pressure to make you serve their needs. When a narcissist attempts to corner you through sheer persistence, stand your ground and remain unmoved. Do not let anyone intimidate you into submission. Maintain a firm stance and refuse to let them dictate your choices. If someone repeatedly asks for something you cannot provide, handle the situation with poise by stating clearly and politely that you are not interested. Stay resolute in your decision and do not get drawn into their pleas. Establishing healthy boundaries is a vital act of self-respect that benefits your journey. Voice these boundaries clearly, highlighting their importance to your well-being. If the other person refuses to honor your limits, it is perfectly acceptable to end the interaction and walk away. You are not obligated to provide a justification or an explanation for your choice. By remaining firm against their expectations, you force them to recognize the gravity of their actions. Remember that no one is obligated to endure abuse or mistreatment. If you find yourself in such a situation, it is vital to maintain your optimism and seek out healthier paths. By employing these self-empowering strategies, you can make a narcissist regret the way they treated you. Take command of your destiny and place your own welfare above all else. Do not allow them to re-enter your life to cause further harm. If you found this information valuable, please share your thoughts in the comments. We also invite you to subscribe to our channel, as your support allows us to continue producing meaningful content. Moving forward, you must understand that the process of reclaiming your life is an ongoing journey that requires persistence. When you decide to make a narcissist regret their behavior, you are essentially deciding to stop being a source of fuel for their ego. This shift is not about being petty. It is about establishing a reality where their games no longer have an impact on your emotional state. As you continue to pull away, you will notice they may try harder to pull you back in. They might use a tactic known as hoovering, where they suddenly act kind or pretend they have changed just to see if they can still exert influence over you. Do not be deceived by these temporary displays of affection or remorse. They are often just another tool in their kit to regain the dominance they feel they are losing. Stay committed to the boundaries you have built, because your consistency is the very thing that will eventually force them to face the void they created. Furthermore, it is essential to realize that the most profound regret a narcissist can feel comes from seeing you succeed in areas where they told you that you would fail. They often spend a great deal of time planting seeds of doubt in your mind, hoping you will stay small so they can feel large. When you break through those mental barriers and achieve your personal goals, it shatters the false image they tried to project onto you. Whether you are advancing in your career, picking up a new hobby, or simply finding a sense of inner peace that they can never attain, your success serves as a constant reminder of their inadequacy. They want to believe they are the center of your universe, so when you show them that your universe is thriving and they aren't even a part of it, that is when the weight of their loss truly begins to sink in. Lastly, remember that forgiveness is for your own peace of mind, not for their benefit. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to let them back into your space or that what they did was acceptable. It simply means you are choosing to drop the heavy burden of their mistakes so you can move faster toward your own future. By releasing the anger, you take away the last bit of emotional real estate they hold in your mind. A narcissist thrives on any kind of attention, even negative attention like hatred or resentment. When you move into a state of total indifference, you become untouchable. That indifference is the ultimate consequence for someone who spent their life trying to be unforgettable through cruelty. You are now the architect of a life that no longer requires their approval or presence. Additionally, it is vital to recognize that your healing process serves as the ultimate proof of their failure to break you. Narcissists rely on the belief that they are indispensable and that you would be lost without their guidance or presence. When you demonstrate that you are not only surviving but truly flourishing, it contradicts the false narrative they spent years constructing. This realization creates a profound sense of unease within them because it proves their influence was temporary and your spirit is permanent. As you move forward, focus on rebuilding the parts of your identity they tried to erase. Reconnect with old passions, explore new interests, and allow yourself the grace to be imperfect. The more you invest in your own growth, the less room there is for their past toxicity to take root in your mind. You must also be prepared for the smear campaign that often follows when a narcissist loses their grip on you. When they can no longer control you, they will attempt to control how others perceive you. They may spread rumors or twist the facts of your relationship to make themselves look like the martyr. During these times, the best response is no response at all. Engaging with their lies only gives them the attention they crave and keeps you tied to their drama. Trust that the people who truly know and value you will see through the deception. By remaining dignified and silent, you allow the narcissist's own erratic behavior to eventually expose their true character to the world. Your silence is a shield that protects your peace while leaving them to deal with the consequences of their own dishonesty. Ultimately, making a narcissist regret their actions is about reaching a point where their opinion of you holds zero weight. True liberation comes when you no longer look back to see if they are watching or if they are sorry. You are building a fortress of self-worth that is entirely independent of their validation. Every step you take toward a healthier version of yourself is a victory that they cannot touch or diminish. Keep your eyes on the horizon and recognize that the best parts of your life are those that have nothing to do with them. You have reclaimed your voice, your choice, and your future. This is the final stage of your journey where you stop being a survivor of their past and start being the creator of your own destiny. Furthermore, you must embrace the realization that your evolution into a state of total indifference is the ultimate consequence they will face. A narcissist survives on the belief that they are permanently etched into your soul, whether through love or through pain. When you reach a point where you no longer feel the need to prove your worth to them or seek an apology, you have effectively rendered them powerless. This shift in your energy is palpable, and it is the one thing they cannot manipulate. While they spend their time seeking out new targets to validate their fragile egos, you are building a foundation of self-respect that is completely immune to their tactics. This internal fortress ensures that even if they attempted to return, they would find a person they no longer recognize and can no longer touch. It is also important to acknowledge that the journey of recovery involves unlearning the survival mechanisms you developed while under their influence. You might have become accustomed to walking on eggshells or hyper-analyzing every conversation to avoid conflict. Making them regret their impact means shedding these habits and reclaiming your right to exist loudly and authentically. Practice being honest with yourself and others without the fear of retaliation. As you regain your voice, you will find that the world is much larger and kinder than the narrow, suffocating environment the narcissist tried to keep you in. Your ability to trust again, both in yourself and in the right people, is a testament to your resilience and a direct contradiction to the narcissist's claim that you were damaged beyond repair. In the final assessment, the greatest form of retribution is the absolute reclamation of your time. Time is the one resource a narcissist feels entitled to steal from you, using it to fuel their drama and satisfy their needs. By deciding that not one more second of your life will be spent ruminating on their cruelty or analyzing their motives, you win. You are choosing to invest your future in people and projects that provide a genuine return on your emotional investment. This is the moment you step out of the cycle of victimhood and into the role of a victor. You have navigated the darkness they created and emerged with a clarity that they will never possess. Your life is now yours alone, and that is a reality they will have to live with forever. In addition to these strategies, you must realize that the ultimate defeat for a narcissist is your complete and total emotional detachment. They thrive on the idea that they have left a permanent scar on your life, and they often check back in just to see if the wound is still open. When they find that you have moved on so thoroughly that you don't even harbor bitterness toward them, it shatters their sense of importance. Indifference is much more painful to a narcissist than hatred, because hatred still requires energy and focus. By choosing to be indifferent, you are sending the message that they are no longer significant enough to occupy any space in your mind. This lack of reaction acts like a mirror, reflecting their own emptiness back at them and forcing them to sit with the void they've created. You should also understand that as you reclaim your narrative, you are rewriting the history they tried to control. Narcissists spend years telling you who you are, what you're capable of, and why you need them. Making them regret their behavior involves actively proving every one of those claims false through your actions. When you achieve the things they said you couldn't, or find the peace they said you'd never have, it creates a psychological friction they cannot resolve. They want to believe they are the source of your strength, so when you show that your power comes from within, it exposes their absolute irrelevance. Your success becomes a quiet, constant reminder of their failure to keep you small. Finally, protect your peace by understanding that you do not owe them a final conversation or a closed chapter. The desire for closure is often a trap that leads back into their cycle of manipulation. True closure is something you grant yourself by walking away and never looking back. You make them regret their cruelty by moving so far forward that you are completely out of their reach, both physically and emotionally. You are now the sole owner of your future, and every day you spend in happiness is a day they have lost the battle for your soul. Take this newfound freedom and use it to build a legacy of kindness and strength that they can never imitate or steal. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, and the narcissist is nothing more than a faded shadow in the background of a much brighter picture. Moreover, you must accept that your ultimate victory lies in the absolute refusal to play their game ever again. A narcissist functions on a predictable loop of provocation and reaction. They poke at your insecurities specifically to see if they can still pull your strings. When you transition into a state where their words feel like background noise, totally devoid of meaning or impact, you have won a war they didn't think you could fight. This emotional distance is the only thing that truly haunts a narcissist, as it signals that you have unplugged from their power source. While they are left searching for a way to provoke you, you are busy constructing a reality where their name is rarely mentioned and their influence is entirely absent. It is also vital to stop waiting for the moment they realize what they have lost. Narcissists rarely have the capacity for genuine self-reflection or empathy, so waiting for a tearful apology is just another way of staying tethered to them. Instead, make them regret their behavior by becoming your own source of validation. Start making decisions based on what makes you feel safe and fulfilled, rather than what will avoid their anger or gain their approval. This shift in loyalty from them to yourself is the most radical act of defiance you can perform. It effectively erases the hierarchy they built, where they were at the top and you were at the bottom. By leveling the playing field and walking off the pitch, you leave them standing alone in an empty stadium with no one to applaud their performance. Finally, understand that the most beautiful part of this journey is the person you become once the weight of their toxicity is lifted. You are likely to discover levels of resilience, creativity, and joy that were suppressed for years. Use this reclaimed energy to pour into the people and causes that truly matter. When a narcissist sees from a distance that you are not only okay, but you are thriving and making a positive impact on the world, it acts as a permanent stain on their ego. They want to believe that they are the only ones capable of greatness, so your flourishing is a direct challenge to their worldview. You have turned the pain they inflicted into a fuel for your own transformation, and that is a masterpiece they will never be able to claim or understand. Additionally, it is essential to navigate the social landscape that remains after you have detached from a narcissist. They often use mutual acquaintances or flying monkeys to gather information about you or to relay messages designed to unsettle your peace. Making a narcissist regret their behavior involves cutting off these channels of information entirely. When they realize they no longer have a window into your life, their anxiety will spike because they can no longer track your progress or measure your emotional state. By maintaining a strict policy of privacy, you force them to live in a state of perpetual curiosity and frustration. Your life becomes a closed book to them, and that lack of access is a profound form of punishment for someone who believes they have a right to every part of you. You must also recognize that your healing will likely trigger a final desperate attempt from them to regain control. This might look like a sudden emergency, a fake illness, or an exaggerated display of success on their part to make you feel jealous. Do not take the bait. The best way to handle these provocations is to treat them with the same boredom you would feel toward a commercial you have seen 1,000 times. When you refuse to be moved by their theatrics, you show them that their script no longer works on you. This total lack of engagement is what truly causes them to spiral, as they are forced to confront the fact that they have lost their most valuable audience member. You are no longer a participant in their drama. You are a spectator who has already left the theater. Ultimately, your journey concludes when the narcissist is no longer a person you want to get even with, but a person you simply do not think about. The energy of revenge is still energy directed toward them, but the energy of growth is energy directed toward yourself. By focusing entirely on your own path, you create a life so full and meaningful that there is literally no room left for the memory of their